Hey everybody, how you doing? It's been a while. Hanging in there? Holding on? Some weird times. It's been a couple months, although back in June I was a special guest on the Dr. Rhythm channel. If you guys are not familiar with that channel, you really should be. They are much better than my stupid channel. I'll leave a link below. They've been during the whole quarantine doing like sort of Zoom hangouts. Great couple guys, John and Mark. And they got people out of hiding, some old faves from the VC like Anders in Stockholm, Teddy. I don't know what I'm doing in that crowd, but I was honored to be a part of that. Always wanted to like fly over to England and go hang out with those guys on their monthly listening sessions because I really like them as people, and they really have
the playlist.
Siri. Yeah. Shut up. Yeah, it's been a while. I don't know if I'm gonna go through with this. I don't know. Anyway, yes, if you want to go check that out, I will leave a link below. And while you're there, subscribe to their channel because it's way better than this crap. So yeah. I guess I'll show you some records. I actually made it back to the record stores a couple times recently, for the first time in months. I'll show you some of that stuff, and I got some stuff in the mail. I haven't been going crazy buying records and stuff because, basically getting my train room finished was the big project, and that's all done, and I've got trains running around, and that's what I'm into, because it means nothing. Music means nothing. I used to think it meant something, but apparently it means nothing. But anyway, having trains run around in that room, it's meaningless, and that's really enjoyable. But anyway, yeah, music. Okay, so yeah, trains. Oh, by the way, someone left a nice comment about my last trains video, and I haven't put up any of my trains videos in a while. I don't know why. But anyway, I might get back to that. Leave a comment if you missed the trains videos, if you missed these videos. Say hello, leave a comment. Anyway, gonna show you some stuff. Some stuff I got in the mail. This I got a while ago. Boy, this is going back a ways. So this is Robert Pollard's Eat Volume 16, which is basically a catalog of his latest collage works. A lot of these are up for sale on his art website. The guy is just so ridiculously creative. And I show it because it also includes, yes, a 7-inch of crude boombox recordings, which you gotta love. So yeah, that's a pretty nice thing. I don't have all the Eats magazines, books, but I have a bunch of them there. I love his artwork. I think it's great. Another kind of odd thing I got in the mail, Bandcamp has been waiving their fees on the first Friday of the month, and so I've been getting some things from International Anthem. I think I showed some of that previously. I think so. I think my last video I did. So I ordered this, pre-ordered this. So this is an interesting package here. It's a so for us, with a 7-inch by Angelbot David, Transition East. 2 tracks on this 7-inch, inspired by this book, Make Some Space, Tuning into Total Refreshment Center, which is place in England, London, I believe. Alabaster de Plume guy comes out of that whole scene. I've not read this book. It looks really nice fresh printing in this poster thing. Make some space for us. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can get just the 7-inch if you want. I decided to go for the whole Kashmir because I'm just kind of that way. Really cool stuff. Really into that international anthem label. I think what they're doing is almost all really top shelf and super contemporary and right now. Boy, do I need a haircut. Cheers, everybody. Seriously, I hope you're all doing well out there. I'm hanging in there. Okay, here's something else I pre-ordered. I basically pre-order everything. I get an email from them. They say, we're releasing this in a couple of months. Boom, I go to Bandcamp. Boom, I pay the money, and then I wait, and then they send it all the way from Germany. Yes, it's the Analog Africa label. This is a 10-inch, not my favorite format, but it's Analog Africa, so I make an exception. It's part of their, what do they call it? Limited Dance Edition. So this is a true limited edition. They will not be repressing this. And what is it? It is, oh, I'm going to murder this. Vaz de Sena Colau, Fundo de Mere Paulina. I don't know. So this is music from the Cabo Verde Islands. Just this archipelago way out in the Atlantic Ocean, the west coast of Africa. Very interesting crossroads between the Caribbean and African cultures. This is killer stuff. I mean, look at that striped hair. Look at that. Look, it's great. It's just as good as it looks. And limited edition. If you want it, grab it. All right. Another thing I pre-ordered. Speaking of Pollard, it's the new Guided by Voices record, Mirrored Aztec. Nice cover. It's a gatefold unipack, which I don't know about that. Now, this is, I say it every time, and since he's dialed back his release schedule, to just a few records a year rather than a dozen records a year, the quality's gone way up in terms of the individual releases, and this is no exception. This is a really good, solid record with a nice remake of Bunko Men, which real fans would know that appeared on the first Suitcase compilation of outtakes and whatnot. Really solid, classic era song remade in kind of a modern fashion. Now I gotta say, I'd said before, he now has a producer. He lets someone produce it, and so it sounds, had this little beefier sound. But the vinyl here was mastered at Sun Studios by Sam Phillips' grandson or something, great grandson. It sounds like ass. I'm sorry, it sounds like ass. It's just no bottom, no high end, all mid range. I had to download the download, in lossless and play it on the big speaker. Am I hallucinating something? It's no CD. The download blows it away. There's a nice beefy bottom, and the mastering's totally different. But it's specially mastered for vinyl by Sam Phillips' great grandson or whatever. I mean, I know lo-fi. No. Fidelity. Yeah. So that's kind of disappointment, That's how I'm gonna be pulling out the download rather than spinning the vinyl on that one. Sorry. That's the way it goes. All right, so yes, I went back to Grannies. My friend Stan, who I hardly get to see anymore. I don't think I told you, but his house burned down back when this all started in March. I'm taking his records with him, with the flames. So we met up at Grannies, and I hadn't been there since February, and had a little bit of credit left, and I wanted to make sure, the credit was still good, and So anyway, it was good to be back. It was a little weird, There's a mask ordinance, which is good, and most people were good about wearing the mask and being socially distant, and yada yada yada. And they had all the new hipster stuff, But I went downstairs to look in the jazz and the like avant-garde sections, the electronic sections, and you know, aside from a couple things, it was as if nothing had changed since February. Like nothing had been added since February. And that was really disappointing. But you know, I'm not surprised. You know, that's not their bread and butter, the kind of stuff I'm into. So you know, so it goes. You know, I hope we can get to the other side of all this and Grannies can get back to normal. Well, I don't know if there's ever going to be any. This is normal now, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Shut up, Rodger. So, what did you buy? What did you get in your trade? Well, I gotta show this because this is freaking killer. Some folks on the Facebook pages had shown this, and I like the cover was so striking, and of course the illegible writing tells you this is extreme metal, right? And I'm like, whoa, and they were raving about it. So I saw it there, and I'm like, you know, I'll pick this up. It looks good. So what is this? This is Blood Incantation, and the name of the album is Hidden History of the Human Race. Wow, this is so good. It's, you know, if you're into extreme metal, this is so good. And if you're like a audiophile nerd, whatever, it's recorded to tape, man. It's got that super saturated tape sound and analog master and blah, 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 blah. So these guys are out of Denver, and they've got this whole shtick, which I could totally relate to, that like, you know, humans are from outer space, and if we could just tap into our ancient alien, you know, ancestry, you know, we could, you know, transcend the space-time continuum, man. But when like a super heavy, like twin guitars, and the singer's got really awesome growl and really technical, and it's so over the top. It's you know, it's a delight. It's a delight. You know, if extreme metal, death metal can be delightful, this is pretty darn delightful. So good, in fact, I'm like, oh man, that's only their second album. I gotta hear their first album. So I did. I went on Discogs and I got this from Zion's Gate. So this is their second album. Came out in 2019, late 2019, I believe. This is their first album. Came out in 2016. This is a 2018 repress. They're both on the Dark Descent label. So this is Blood Incantation, Star Spawn. Finally, the ultimate cosmic death metal release. Yes, finally. Honestly, having heard this, which is so good first, this didn't seem not quite as fleshed out, like they're, you know, but still recorded to tape, and it's got all those elements, and, you know, I'm super happy to have it. I mean, these guys, really good. This especially. Yes. All right. Metal. It's the only metal record I picked up. That section was also pretty much like same as it was back in February. So what else did I get? Oh, I found this in the jazz section. I was hoping I'd find one of these Tone Poet things. This is a recent reissue of Herbie Hancock's The Prisoner. Was this a soundtrack? This might have been a soundtrack. This is kind of a large band with Johnny Coles on flugelhorn, Joe Henderson on saxophone, Garnett Brown on trombone, Buster Williams, so a bunch of people. They're really good, really excellent. Really nice mastering. These Tone Poet records are really exquisitely well done. No gatefold on this one. I guess maybe there were no session photographs to put in there, so they just did kind of just a straight reissue. Fantastic. Like, you know, when I played the Guided by Voices thing, and I'm like, God, this sounds terrible. Is there something wrong with my needle? I put this on, and I was like, no, needle's fine. No, it's just crappy mastering. So that was really nice. I think they're doing another one. There's more of those. I want all of those Tone Poet records. I was hoping I could get them at Grannies. I guess if I really want them, I'm gonna have to go online. They're really, really well done. And reasonably priced too. I think they're under $30. You know, these days, for a well-made, high-quality audiophile release, that's really not bad. Okay, I picked these. No, wait, no, I didn't get this at. Hold on. I got this elsewhere. Just hold your horses. Sorry. Like it matters. Anyway, so, yeah, I got this, the new Bob Dylan record, Rough and Rowdy Ways, which is way better than anyone has any right to expect an 80-year-old Bob Dylan record. It's really good. Now, this Murder Most Foul song was released in the midst of the whole quarantine thing back in the spring, and it was kind of touted as like, oh, we found this on the cutting room floor, and here it is. And I don't know if the rest of this is more cutting room floor stuff, or if he really went back in the studio and made new recordings. It's really unclear. Doesn't matter. It's Dylan with his working band, which is a move he's made. He's been doing this for a while, but that was always a problem with Dylan's records, was that particularly, I don't know, in the 80s and 90s, he might have a working band that could follow his quirky lead and stuff, and be sort of empathetic and telepathic and stuff. And then he'd go in the studio and he'd be like, well, I want these rock stars or whoever, Keith Richards or whatever, to play on the record, and it's just But anyway, so this is made with his band, and it's got this really floating. You either can get with modern Dylan or you can't, I guess. I think it's pretty fucking great. Personally, no reason why he should be even making records anymore, much less out there touring. Although I guess that's not happening right now, is it? No, it's not. All right, let's pick this up. This is a reissue. No, this is not a reissue. It's a new record. Psychedelic Speed Freaks. So this is folks from, what does it say on the tin? It's a new power trio led by Munehiro Narita, founding member of Japan's legendary High Rise. Yes, it comes out of the High Rise. And it's on that Black Editions label. So it's High Rise related. Sounds a little bit like High Rise. Yeah, it's killer. Yeah, great. Noisy. Skronky. Psychedelic Speed Freaks. Yes. Don't have a lot of Japanese noise stuff like that. Although Fusha Susha and Keiji Haino was a big influence on me back in the CD days. Remember CDs? Cheers, everybody. How long have I been going? Well, what do you want? It's been a couple months. You either want to hang out with me or you don't. I don't care. Delicious. Alright. I also picked this up on the recommendation of my nephew, who's just had a baby, who I haven't been able to meet yet because everything's so messed up. Kimanuka. It's like Michael Kimanuka, I think is his name. So he's British. I meant to do a little more research on this before talking about it. So this is like a new kind of pop record thing. What's the name of the record? It's just Kimanuka. Produced by Danger Mouse and Inflow. I really like this really interesting music. It's hard to describe. It's kind of like soul music, but with a rock. It's again sounds very contemporary. He's got a nice quality to his voice. I really like it. I really don't like the pressing. Pressing sucks. Off center, non-fill. Vinyl sucks, or sometimes it does. It sucks. Great music, crap pressing, or maybe I just got unlucky. Maybe. All right, let's see. What else did I get at Grannies? Oh, I found this. I already have a copy of this, but this is a white label promo of this brilliant record by Eddie Henderson, Realization. Capricorn from 1973. This is basically the Moandishi band with Herbie Hancock and Eddie Henderson on trumpet and flugelhorn, Benny Maupin on flute and saxophones, Billy Hart on drums, Buster Williams on bass, and Patrick Gleason on synthesizer. This is great, especially side 2. And it's funny because the copy that I had is perfectly good copy. Jack is a little beat, but I got it for $1 when I lived in Boston back in the 80s. You know, it's like so unhip. Like, oh, yeah, it's $1. You know, who cares about that? This was not $1. Whatever. But I'm also like, oh, great. So I'm going to give my older copy of Realization to my friend Stan because he lost his record collection in the fire, and I've been turning him on to this whole Muandishi thing with Herbie Hancock, and it's great stuff. And so anyway, so I'll give him my old copy, and this beautiful white label promo will replace it. Okay, that was Grannies. Haven't been back since. And then we met up at Great Escape, and this might have been actually previous, but whatever. Actually haven't been back since Great Escape either. But I found a couple things at Great Escape. They've been carrying I think they have a new owner. The original owner died recently. They've got a new owner. So they carry a limited selection of new vinyl. And I picked this up, the Thundercat Apocalypse. On Flying Lotus's label. When is this from? 2013. Yeah, I like this guy. He's really interesting. Really, like, it reminds me of Zappa sometimes. The intricacy of the arrangements and the busyness and his voice sometimes has a like George Duke kind of quality to it. I dig it. It's hard to put my finger on it. And here's his most recent record. What is this called? It is what it is. God, really? Is that what it is? Anyway, it's this. Hard to see. It's got an obi here with like reflective. See? Woo, hologram. Ooh. This is a nice record too. I dig it. I don't really know what else to say about it. Except dig it. Sounds now. Isn't trying to ape the past. Alright, so what else we got here? Oh, here's another new thing I picked up there. This is a recent record store day thing, or something like that. Placebo, live 1971. This is Pierre Moulins. Mark Moulins. Sorry, Pierre Moulins, it's gone. Mark Moulins, Placebo, Belgian sort of jazz fusion band. This is live 1971, previously unreleased. Sounds like a radio broadcast. 2019 on We Release Jazz. This is okay. I like those studio albums a lot. This is a little bit kind of meandering and dull, to be perfectly frank. Maybe I just wasn't in the right mood. That happens sometimes. And then finally, we're almost done here. Almost done. A couple of used things. Mort Garson's electronic hair pieces. So this is music from Hair, the musical Hair, done on synthesizer by Mort Garson. Now that sounds like a terrible idea, but Mort Garson was a freaking genius, and this is great. I have to be in the right mood for it, but I collect that sort of early electronic music stuff, and I'd seen copies of this before, but they were always kind of beat. This is a really nice copy of this. It's not something I'm going to play a lot. My wife Liz, she's a little bit younger than me, but she's a huge Hair fan when she's a little girl, and so I played this for her, and she's like singing along. And just thought it was the best thing ever. So yeah, good stuff. Mort Garson, genius. And because I get to be a completist sometimes. When I like an artist, I'm like, oh, I want everything they made, even though maybe not everything they made is all that good, And this is the case with this guy, although this is way better than I expected it to be. So this is Les McCann's Talk to the People on Atlantic from 1972, which is good sign. That cover's not a very good sign. And there's like some covers here that, like what's going on. But this is really good. I mean, it's more soul jazz than jazz. Lots of singing, but he's got a really nice voice. I like his voice. And lots of funky clavinet on here. If you're into clavinet, this is some nice clavinet. All right, finally, I haven't even cleaned this up yet. If any of you know what this sounds like, let me know. I'll eventually clean it up. But it had been sitting there. No, I guess we went there twice. Because this had been sitting there previously, and then we went back, and it was still sitting there. And I thought, okay, fine, for $6 or whatever, I'll bring it home. This is Dewey Redmond's Sound Designs. Is that what it's called? Sound Signs on Galaxy Records from 1978. No, 81. I think it was recorded in 78. Released in 1981. So it's Dewey Redmond on tenor sax and harp, Charlie Hayden on bass on one piece. The rest of the tracks are with Mark Elias on bass, Fred Simmons on piano, on 2 tracks, and Eddie Moore on drums. I expect this to be a mixed bag. Could be good. Great players. Don't really know anything about this label. It's got a promo stamp, but that doesn't mean anything except that Dewey Redmond didn't get paid. Who knows? Maybe it's a sleeper. Could be great. Maybe I'll let you know next time. All right, folks. 26 minutes. Showed a bunch of records. It actually kind of felt good to be doing this, even though it's a little bit like the void. Hello, out there in the void. Is anyone out there? I welcome your comments. I hope to hear from some of my friends. Apparently there's been some drama in the VC. I am way out of touch, so I don't really know the specifics, but I'm not surprised. Everyone's showing their ass these days, including myself. It's weird times. I hope we get to the other side. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take care. See you soon. Or sometime. Bye.